First I was afraid, I was petrified. Kept thinking how I'd ever live without you by my side. Then I spent so many nights just thinking how you did me wrong. I grew strong and I learned how to get along. And now you're back from outer space. I just walked in to find you here with that sad look upon your face. Should've changed that stupid lock, I should've made you leave your key. If I had known just for 1 second you'd be back to bother me. Go on now, go, walk out the door. Just turn around now, or you're not welcome anymore. Weren't you the one that tried to hurt me with goodbye? Did you think I'd crumble? Did you think I'd lay down and die? Oh no, not I will survive as long as I know how to love. Well, I know I'll stay alive. I got all my life to live, I got all my love to give. I will survive, I will survive. Hey, hey, took all the strength I had not to fall apart. Kept trying hard to mend the pieces of my broken heart. Then I spent so many nights just feeling sorry for myself. I used to cry, but now I hold my head up high and you see me, somebody new. I'm not that chained up little person still in love with you. Now you felt like dropping in and just expect me to be free. Well, I'm saving all my loving for someone who's loving me. Go out now, go, walk out the door. Just turn around now, or you're not welcome anymore. Weren't you the one that tried to hurt me with goodbye? Did you think I'd crumble? Did you think I'd lay down and die? Oh no, not I will survive as long as I know how to love. Well, I know I'll stay alive. I got all my life to live, I got all my love to give. I will survive, I will survive. Go on now, go, walk out the door. Just turn around now, or you're not welcome anymore. Weren't you the one that tried to hurt me with goodbye? Did you think I'd crumble? Did you think I'd lay down and die? Oh no, not I will survive as long as I know how to love. Well, I know I'll stay alive. I got all my life to live, I got all my love to give. I will survive, I will survive, I will survive.
So, of course, we are testing out a new microphone, as you probably guessed from the video, and it is hard for me to open up. There you go. It's an AEA R84. Let's check it out. Here it is. Comes in a nice soft case. Oh, with said cable. Oh, I see. Or do I? Aha, it's like a padded sock. There it is. The R84. Now, AEA make some of the best ribbon microphones in the world. We all know that. We interviewed Wes Dooley, who started the company maybe about 5 years ago now, and he told us this very long and illustrious story about how he started the company. He ended up buying all of the RCA new old stock. That's NOS, as people like to call it. And so I don't know how many of his microphones are still made with RCA parts, but for the longest time, they were made with the original parts of RCAs, which is pretty darn amazing. So as per usual, we're using this on the vocal, using this on the acoustic guitar, using it on an electric guitar, we're going to use it on the bass, and we're going to use it on the drums. We're going to do one mic on the drum kit, just one whopping mic. So, yeah, check out the video if you haven't already. And, of course, we're going to do a little mix breakdown and listen to all the tracks. And as ever, you can enter to win one of these beautiful microphones, and you can download the multi-tracks for yourself and mix them. And if you're an Academy member, of course, we will mix critique them. So don't forget, Academy members, to post the mixes. So let's take a listen to the tracks. Before you say anything, yes, I'm wearing some new headphones. These are Odyssey LCD X's. I went and tried out a whole bunch of pairs, and I've settled on these. I'm still in the great search of headphones, but thus far, these are my favorite headphones. So fingers crossed. First, we're going to look at the acoustic played by Katie. Here it is. There's one thing I love about good ribbon mics. Good ribbon mics have very, very soft high end. You might ask, well, why is that a big deal? Well, what's great about it is you can boost that high end and without it getting really super harsh. It really allows for a smoothness. So this is with no EQ, no compression. Now remember, we did do a little bit of high passing on the Audient here. This is all recorded through this lovely ID44. Now, first thing I did is actually put a de-esser on it because I want to get rid of some of that clickiness. Dun, tick, click, click. I'm just controlling around about 2.5K. So it's still tapping along, but not quite so bright. And the reason why I wanted to do that is because it plays on the snare. So if you ever listen to the drums, side stick. So it's got to be in time. Let's just mute the drums for a second. So I put a compressor on as well. It also, on this fast setting here, is just not letting much of the attack through, which is really nice. Bringing everything fuller, it sounds so much richer. It's obviously louder, but you're also hearing there's no dramatic peaks. If I bypass it, even if I gain match it, it's gain match now. So before, after. See, it's controlling those knocking sounds. So I'm going to turn it back up because I was using it to gain volume. So we have the R84 plugged in. We have the wonderful Katie Ferrara sitting here. So we're going to play some acoustic, and I'm listening. I'm listening to what's coming through the Audient ID40. Is it ID14? Which one have we got up?
The ID44.
We do. I was right the first time. ID44. So could you play, please, Katie? So move it here. Far too boomy. You hear that? It's actually distorting. It's so boomy. Wow, what a huge difference this makes. This is the amount of low end here. And move it here. So it's quite directional. Being figure of 8, it's as loud on the back as it is in the front. It's figure of 8. Some people do this, kind of across the side. So now it's recording anything that's coming in its path here. Actually kind of nice. Let's go back to here. I mean, Katie plays extremely well and the microphone sounds great, and we're going through a completely transparent, clean, affordable mic pre. So it's a good combination.
Cool.
Let's do this track.
All right.
So let's go straight to the drums next. Again, the same thing on the ribbon. What I love about mono, because it's just a mono mic on the drums. Have a listen. You see it was pointing down over the kit. Now we're blessed because Blair's an incredibly balanced drummer. If we go to that section with the tom fill, for instance. Totally mono drums. Hey, it didn't stop Ringo from playing. I mean, they did many takes with just one mic on the kit, or two mics, one in front and one over the top. So again, just super mono. Okay, so I'm gonna just get the pole tech here, and I'm just gonna boost some 60 hertz. I'm gonna boost some 8K. So here's a before. You see how that 8K is bringing out the bite of the snare and the hat. Bypass. Bring in the acoustic. I don't know how she did that, but she does this great acoustic part here. What is she doing? Ba-dubba-dubba. It's gorgeous. Let's face it, somebody's got to put that into Ableton and have some fun with it. So good. Okay, so now I'm going to go to the electric guitar because that's balancing out the left-hand side. Let's bring in the electric. Now, the DI and the amp, I was very careful to get them in phase. So if we listen to just the amp, first of all. So thick. Throw in the DI. Many 70s classic tones are the guitar going straight into the console. But memory serves me right, they did that with pretty much everything. Le Freak. I found some video footage of Nile Rodgers talking about that as well. It's adding some fullness in the mids. Together, it's pretty tasty. So you get the... Put the drum set. Put the acoustic in. Lovely. Now, obviously, we're going to listen to the bass. There's nothing on the guitars. There's only some top and bottom boost on the drums. There's a bit of compression on the acoustic. I mean, it's the most minimal mix I've ever done. Just letting you hear the sound of the mic. Okay, I'm going to do my trick on the bass. So I'm going to use the DI, which is super clean, for the low end. So let's grab just my idea of a generic EQ, which of course is always the REQs. So I'm sort of focusing between 60 and like 175. Now let's, on the amp, do the opposite. So what we're going to do is we're going to a low pass at about 175. Put the two together. So I'm going to put a gentle bit of compression on both of those elements. Now I'm going to combine those two elements together, so just bust them to one. So a little bit of gentle compression, and now I'm just going to get a little bit of EQ. Again, I'll just grab an REQ. You can use any EQ you like. REQ for me is like a stock EQ. So I'll go down to like 50, 60. And I'm actually going to grab the R bass, which is one of my favorite plugins. And it's doing an 80 boost. Now, typically I would use an MV2. I just don't know with a song as open as this whether I need to clamp down on the bass that dramatically. So let's throw in the guitars. So the guitars are so thick sounding. I actually think probably too thick. So it's, again, grab an EQ. Again, stock EQ, whatever you want to use. So far, the only thing that we've used that isn't really stock is, of course, the R bass. Everything else you could do is just any regular DAW's free stock plugins. So I'm going to get that at about 100 and get it out of the way. That allows some room for the bass to breathe. Bit of 5K. Both sources, great. Again, ribbon mics, the R84 loves a bit of high-end boost. It sits really nicely. All right, let's have a listen to the acoustic. I love the mid-range toughness of that acoustic. Throwing the drums. Bring the guitar down ever so slightly. Put it in the acoustic. Throw in the shaker. And the tambourine. Here it comes. Now the bass just needs some mids. It needs to cut a little bit more. The low end's controlled beautifully. I absolutely love it. So again, just grab whatever stock plugin you want, anything at all. So let's do some like 750 boost. Maybe like a 1.5K around that area. You said if it was going the right way. So I'm going to put another EQ on the drums after the EQ1P, after the pulsec. And I'm just going to get a little bit more 60 on there, which is what we already boosted. So a little bit more there, but also cut some 80 where the bass is living. So you'll get this kind of, see what's happening here? You get this kind of little cut. Go to where the snare comes in. So just a subtle cut in the 80, just to let the bass low end breathe in through there. Okay, let's go up to the solo. Again, you can use the DI along with the amp tone. So just because I can, I'm going to have some fun with that DI. I love doing stuff like this. So what I'm going to do... So why don't we have some fun with that? What should we do? Should we smother it in verb? So we got the spaced out, the baby audio spaced out. It's so good. It's too good. It's so good. That was the default. So I've got it panned 30-30 now. Sit down the track. So I've got a really generic reverb going on the vocal, which I'm totally happy with. Let's have a listen to the vocal on sub.
First I was afraid, I was petrified. Kept thinking how I'd ever live without you by my side. First I was afraid, I was
a little bit of low end bleed, so I suppose we could
without you by my side.
We could do a little bit of high passing.
I was afraid, I was petrified. Kept thinking how I'd ever live without you by my side.
The high end boost is just beautiful.
Kept thinking how
now,
I'd ever
I'm a big fan of Arvox.
First I was afraid, I was petrified. Kept thinking how I'd ever live without you by my side. First I was afraid, I was petrified. Kept thinking how I'd ever live without you by my side. First I was afraid.
I mean, it's already an amazing vocal tone. All we did was cut some lows and boost some high end and then use the Arvox.
First I was afraid, I was petrified. Kept thinking how I'd ever live without you by my side. Then I spent so many nights just thinking how you did me wrong. I grew strong and I learned how to get along. And now you're back from outer space. I just walked in to find you here with that sad look upon your face.
Copying those settings down to the background
that
vocal.
stupid lock, I should have made you leave your key. If I had known just for 1 second you'd be back to bother me. Go on now, go. Walk out the door. Just turn around now. Oh, you're not welcome anymore. Weren't you the one that tried to hurt me with goodbye? Did you think I'd crumble? Did you think I'd lay down and die? You know now I will survive. As long as I know how to love, well I know I'll stay alive. I got all my life to live, I got all my love to give. I will survive, I will survive. Hey, hey.
So I'm just going to bring that effect down the guitar slightly. It's so easy to mix when it's great musicians. I mean, Blair's such an amazing drummer. Katie's a wonderful singer. So much fun.
It took all the strength I had not to fall apart. Kept trying hard to mend the pieces.
Dry up the reverb.
Then I spent so many nights just feeling sorry for myself. I used to cry, But now I hold my head up high and you see me, somebody new. I'm not that chained up little person still in love with you. But now you felt like dropping in. First I was afraid, I was petrified. Kept thinking how I'd ever live without you by my side. Then I spent so many nights just thinking how you did me wrong. I grew strong and I learned how to get along. And now you're back from outer space. I just walked in to find you here with that sad look upon your face. Should've changed that stupid lock, I should've made you leave your key. If I had known just for 1 second you'd be back to bother me. Go on now, go, walk out the door, just turn around now, or you're not welcome anymore. Weren't you the one that tried to hurt me with goodbye? Did you think I'd crumble? Did you think I'd lay down and die? Oh no, not I will survive as long as I know how to love. Well, I know I'll stay alive.
I'm going to brace up a little bit.
I got all my life to live, I got all my love to give. I will survive, I will survive. Hey, hey, took all the strength I had not to fall apart. Kept trying hard to mend the pieces of my broken heart. Then I spent so.
Let's do some stuff on the master bus that's gentle. So I have a vertigo. It's actually not in there at the moment. Jack has it, but let's have a listen.
First I was a. Hey, hey.
So I'm going to use the sidechain filter, so letting the 60 pass through.
Well, it took all the strength.
Nice for tucking in the snare.
I tried to hurt me with goodbye. Did you think I'd crumble? Did you think I'd lay down and die? Oh no, not I will survive.
We're up to 90 on the sidechain, so 90 and below, passing through. Not using it to detect compression.
I got all my love to give. I will survive, I will survive, I will survive. I tried to hurt me with goodbye. Did you think I'd crumble? Did you...
Now I really love what AEA Multimedia do with the T-Rack. So if I go and grab that.
I tried to hurt me with goodbye. Did you think I'd crumble? Did you think I'd lay down and die? Oh no, not I will survive as long as I know how to love. Well, I know I'll stay alive. I got all my life to live, I got all my love to give. I will survive.
The classic multiband is just really nice when used very subtly. I'm getting a dB here.
I tried to hurt me with goodbye.
Sometimes less.
Did you think I'd crumble? Did you think I'd lay down and die? Oh no, not I will survive as long as I know how to love. Well, I know I'll stay alive. I got all my life to live, I got all my love to give. I will survive, I will survive.
We could do a bit of high passing on that. There's some thumpiness going on that we don't need. Some bleed coming through the glass because we were probably listening super loud because we were online and everybody was having fun and asking tons of questions and praising Katie.
Anymore. Weren't you the one that tried to hurt me with goodbye? Did you think I'd crumble? Did you think I'd lay down and die? Oh no, not
absolutely superb. So download the multi-tracks for yourself. Don't forget, you can enter to win one of these beautiful R84s. Thanks ever so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Download the multi-tracks, hear for yourself. I absolutely love ribbon mics. There's a lot of really good ones on the market. But the thing about AEA that many, many people out here, LA professionals, love is the fact that it's so smooth on the top end. All ribbon mics have that characteristic, but there's something very classy and classic and timeless about the R84. We've done quite a few ribbon mics recently. I think this is our third one, so that's pretty crazy for us. But there is a real interest in ribbon mics because they are a different sound. You can do some fun things with them. So download the multi-tracks, enter to win. Thank you ever so much for watching. So long, farewell, la vida, say, and au revoir, adios.